Hello guys, how's it going? Screezilla here. I hope you're all well. I wanted to do a little bit of a video, just talking about heavy tanks and the role that they should play in War Thunder, and the role that you should be playing if you're playing a heavy tank. Um, Now I'm using the Jumbo here as an example, but I'm also going to be using the KV-1 as well, which we're up against in this game. So it is Americans and Germans against the Russians. Now, we're at 4.7 in this match, so the Germans don't have things like Tigers or anything like that. So the heavy tanks we've got are your Jumbos and your KV-1s. Using them to their best effect, and this is kind of an important thing to do. So I'm going to talk a little bit about smoking and basically just playing as a heavy tank in this example. So as you see here, what I'm doing is I'm just going around the corner here. Let's just pause it and switch to the free camera quickly. So I'm going to be going around the corner here on Berlin. It's Berlin, isn't it? Which map is this? I always forget which map's which. Oh, Rhineland. So I'm going to be going around the corner here. Now, this is a notorious street for fights, because it's a nice long street. So both teams will come here after capping C and B. And you'll end up with a lot of tanks camping the corners. And this generally ends up in massive firefights between tanks along this corridor here. So, here I am. We have a Sherman and a Panzer. At the end of the street, we've got a T-34 and a KV-1. So the T-34 comes around, and we start firing at each other. So let's just switch back to the view that I've got. So I can see the T-34 here. Now, the Panzer and the Sherman here, although the Panzer is trying to F up the Sherman's day a little bit by pushing him, are sitting behind me, which is what they should be doing. So you basically want to use the heavy tank as armour. Now that Sherman's just got hit straight through the lower plate there. I think his driver's just been injured. But where is that, the Jumbo? Anyway, so he's just been hit a little bit, taken a bit of damage. But the heavy tanks need to push out around this corner because we need to basically take their fire so our medium tanks can cause damage to the enemy. So I'm playing the effective role of a tank here. If you want to go to MMO Talk, this is how you do it. You have a tank to take all the hits. That's what I need to do. I need to absorb the hits from the enemy. I think that's the heavier Jumbo there as well. Now there's a bomb's been dropped behind us. I move forwards a bit. I don't take too much damage, thankfully. Neither do the two behind me. So we've got two heavy tanks here, and one sat quite far back, and the other, myself, is taking most of the hits here. So this is where I decide to smoke and move up a bit. Now, smoke is really handy because, well, it lets you move. For instance, in this environment, I would be stuck now in this position. And we would have to sit at the end of that corridor without moving because we would just get owned by the enemy tanks. So putting that smoke screen up has effectively meant that I can move forwards. Now we're getting artillery here as well. So the T-34 I think has actually been taken out. Spot an ASU-57, take him out of the action quickly. Got a KV-1 there again, causing much trouble. Now, we're in a sort of stalemate here because with the high explosive shell, the M61 shot, I can't really penetrate. I should switch to the M72 shot, really. But I'm hoping that the tanks behind me can help me out here. Now we lose one of the Shermans, but I still have that Panzer for aid. So I'm trying to track this guy here. Miss my shot. Luckily though, because he's turning to face me, the Panzer has a nice solid shot to the side of his vehicle. An easy kill. So now I've got to take on this KV-1. Go straight through the cheek and take him out. So this corridor here is now cleared and we can move forwards. So in this situation, heavy tanks are very handy. Now, the enemy didn't use their advantage. They didn't press their advantage. They kept to their spot and kept defending. And that's where they failed. When you're attacking, if you can actually press the attack and move forwards, you've got to be careful because, of course, defenders have a strategic advantage. If both these KVs had sat in this position, then we wouldn't have been able to do much. However, with this KV moving around and trying to flank me, having this medium tank back here, capable of taking him out, meant that he effectively was stalemated. You can see the shot there where it's being penetrated, where the Panzer went through. So this KV is completely stuck in this position now and it can't go anywhere. Now, again, we are at a sort of stalemate, but because there's two of us now, we can press the advantage, and that's what we did. So, if you're using a heavy tank, especially in an urban environment like this, and you have got smoke, use it to your advantage. You really do need to press forwards, and that's where it comes in handy. You can also use it to give the enemy a false sense of security. With this KV here, I set a smoke screen up in this position, so he decided to move, thinking he was safe. Of course, the tanks at the end of this corridor then had easy shots at him. But it was so focused upon me in the heavy tank, and pretty much incapable of penetrating me at the side or the front, he had to get around behind me. And it sort of forced his hand and lost these guys the battle. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. It's just strategic use of tanks. Use your armour. Use your placing of your armour. And smoke is really handy in that regard. Okay, guys, I hope you found this useful and interesting, most of all. I really do hope you found this useful. I hope this helps you play heavy tanks a little bit easier and helps you in the pressing of attacks with heavy tanks. Teamwork is always important, so make sure you've got a team behind you. If I was on my own in this situation, I wouldn't have done as well, for sure. But luckily, that Panzer did keep to my rear here and kept us safe, sort of thing. It was a rearguard action. Medium tanks aren't for pressing the assault in this sort of environment. You need a breakthrough tank, and that's what heavy tanks are for. Okay, guys, until next time, this is Screezilla out. Bye-bye.